Okay, so Brown versus Board of Education was when people tried to end school segregation. They were supposedly separate equal, but they truly were not. The people went to the Supreme Court to fight this case. They had one thing as proof, which was their schools. The schools showed that they spent 10 times more money on a white child's education than a colored child.
Almost 50 years later, Thurgood Marshall, a lawyer for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP, led the charge in arguing that the segregation of schools violated the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Several similar segregation questions from different parts of the country were combined into one case. And the case of Linda Brown, a third-grade African-American student from Topeka, Kansas, led the list. Just like many of the other cases that were combined into hers, Linda was denied acceptance into white schools close to her home and was forced to attend a school miles away. While separate was considered equal at the time, Thurgood Marshall argued for the African American families that white schools.
Okay, so in this picture you can see white people waiting for the Little Rock Nine to go into the school. So they would do this so that they wouldn't get into the school. They would use signs that said race mixing is communism, because at that time the America was afraid of communism and didn't want to get back into it. Okay, so this is how they got rid of school segregation. It took 9 kids, which were called the Little Rock Nine, and the Supreme Court to get rid of the de jure segregation, which were the laws. Although de jure was no longer existing, there was still the de facto in everybody that thought colored people were not good.